From cars covered in crystals to pure gold t-shirts, here are 9 of the most ridiculous things bought by billionaires. Number 9. Crystal car. Sure, any billionaire will get themselves a nice car. Who wouldn't? But this car is straight bougie. Imagine driving up to the club in a car that's covered in diamonds. It's known as the Mercedes-Benz SL600, and it's covered in Swarovski crystals. The rights to this creation go to Garson, a company whose job is to create crystal accessories. The company has actually created 2 crystal-studded Mercedes-Benz, 1 gold and 1 silver. They were both shown to the public at an auto show in Tokyo. Each of these cars is decorated with 300,000 crystals. Each Tony Swarovski crystal was cut into a diamond shape and glued into the car. So how much does a car like this cost? Just $1 million. But who? Some guy in Dubai, of course. He probably also bought some other Garson accessories, which is a good start for others wanting to live a more glamorous life. Crystal-studded gear shifts, steering wheels, and wheels are readily available, so get yours now. Come to think of it, the other crystal Mercedes is out there somewhere. Number 8. Tequila Lay .925. Alcohol can be expensive, but I'm not talking about $1,000 bottle of wine here. I'm referring to the most expensive alcohol in the world. The Lay .925 Tequila Pasión Azteca Ultra Premium Añejo is tequila with a very unique journey to tell. How can tequila be so expensive? Well, it's really the bottle that makes it this way, as it is encrusted with 6,400 diamonds. Supposedly, this makes the alcohol taste better or something. The Lay .925 does come in 3 bottles though. In case the most expensive one is too much for you, there's a 225,000 handcrafted white gold with pure platinum bottle. The next one is diamond encrusted and it will cost a steep $1.5 million. Think that's a lot? It gets worse. The diamond sterling bottle is priced at $3.5 million. But for that price, you could probably just buy some of Mexico City, the city where the tequila was revealed and applauded. Though they most likely didn't know why. Who buys a $3.5 million bottle of tequila? Eventually someone. And if tequila isn't your thing, the Henry IV de Rognon Heritage Cognac Grande Champagne is dipped in 24-karat gold and sterling platinum that contains 6,500 diamonds. Imagine getting drunk on that. Number 7. Islands. This is no new story. Billionaires buying islands for no apparent reason, investing millions just to own another property. But there's one story that actually, well, isn't ridiculous. A couple of years ago, an Egyptian billionaire got a hold of the owner of 2 islands near Greece. Rather than do it for fun, he actually wanted to provide housing and jobs for refugees and migrants who needed shelter from the Middle East. He hoped to get the Greek government involved in the deal. The project was known as Aline Islands, named after a 3-year-old named Alan Kurdi, whose body was discovered after a boat carrying his family capsized. The man said he would spend up to $200 million on the project. However, the plan fell through as political issues arose. But since the election of Trump, other billionaires have brought up the subject and mentioned pulling a similar project. This would house immigrants who are deported from the USA and give jobs to those who are willing to uproot. Maybe it's a little ridiculous, but it sure sounds more noble than buying an island to use as a personal resort. Number 6. Gold Monopoly. For those of you who evade losing Monopoly by tossing the board aside, may want to reconsider planning to buy this one. The world's most expensive Monopoly set arrived on Wall Street in 2010. No, it's not a Star Wars edition or formerly owned by Michael Jackson. Rather, this set is sculpted out of pure gold. On top of that, much of it is encrusted with jewels. So how much does a game like that go for? Just about $2 million. After 2010, it went on display at the Museum of American Finance, as described as a piece of art. The set was created by a jeweler, Sidney Mobell, who spent a year crafting each intricate piece by hand after receiving commission from the Parker brothers. The board is plated in 23-karat gold, and each piece 18-karat gold. The dice have diamonds on them. The chimneys on the houses are topped with rubies, while sapphires top the hotels. Even the board is accented with jewels. To celebrate its arrival, Monopoly tournaments were held in its honor. Number 5. Lunch with Warren Buffett. This may seem random, but actually, auctioning off lunch with billionaires is an annual charity event. In 2016, the annual event brought in a hefty sum as someone bought lunch with him for $3,456,789, matching the previous record exactly from 2012. The winner was allowed to take up to 7 friends to dine with Buffett at the Smith & Wollensky Steakhouse in Midtown Manhattan. The bidder was, as often in charity events, anonymous. Considering in 2015 a gaming company won the bid with less than $2.5 million, the increase was quite impressive. The proceeds for this event went to Glide, a San Francisco charity that provides food, healthcare, and other services to people who are homeless, poor, or struggling with substance abuse. Over the last 17 years, Buffett has raised $23.6 million for the charity and hopes to continue to raise more money at his annual charity events. Number 4. Gold shirt. How would you feel if you were known as the man with the gold shirt? Well, Data Fudge sure didn't mind being called the Gold Man. His name is gold. His shirt made of 3 kilograms of gold simply fulfilled him. It was worth $250,000, making it one of the most valuable shirts in the world. Although it wasn't just his shirt that earned him the title. He had rings, bracelets, and medallions he wore nearly everywhere. But there's no doubt that the shirt was his signature. Many say it's ridiculous, but he had good reasons. Some people ask me why I'm wearing so much gold, but it was my dream. People have different aspirations. Some elite people want to own an Audi or a Mercedes and have big cars. I chose gold, he explained. Sadly, in 2016, Fudge was attacked and killed by 12 assailants with sharp objects and stones. He had been invited to a party and accepted, but soon he regretted his discussion and he was beat to death by the partygoers. Did his attitude about the gold kill him? Was there a financial argument? The cause is not known, but his 22-year-old son witnessed the entire thing. Number 3. DKNY Golden Delicious $1 Million Perfume. Think that DKNY is a relatively cheap brand? Well, not always. In fact, it owns the world's most expensive perfume. Nope, it doesn't really smell that much better than any other perfume, but to be fair, it is beautiful. But the cost is an alarming $1 million. Why? For starters, it's decorated with 2,909 precious stones from all over the world. A few unique pieces are a 1.65 carat turquoise Peruvian tourmaline from Brazil, an oval capuchon sapphire from Sri Lanka, 15 round, brilliant, vivid pink diamonds from Australia, 4 rose-cut diamonds, an oval-cut ruby, and a pear-shaped rose-cut diamond. This is unique in itself, but the fact that they are placed on the bottle to resemble the New York City skyline is what puts it above and beyond. Even the shape of the bottle looks like an apple. The DKNY Golden Delicious $1 Million fragrance bottle is not only decorated with jewels, but made from 14 karat yellow and white gold. With diamonds, sapphires, rubies, gold, and nearly countless jewels, you could seriously sit and stare at this thing for hours. No wonder it's highly sought after. I definitely want that. Number 2. Pigeon. Back in 2013, a Belgian racing pigeon called Bolt was sold to a Chinese businessman for a world record price of $400,000. That's a lot for a pigeon. But in 2017, that record was broken yet again. Just this year, 2 South African pigeon farmers paid a record $465,000 to buy a racing pigeon in Belgium. The pigeon is worth more than most humans. This pigeon, called Golden Prince, is now no doubt gloating to Bolt. The owners of Golden Prince's names were Mark Kitchenbrand and Samuel Mitzbah, who outbid a Chinese man in the auction. Could it be that they outbid Bolt's owner? For us, pigeon racing seems like a silly sport. But in Belgium, it's a long-time tradition that attracts thousands of buyers. Golden Prince's previous owner described him as one of the best long-distance pigeons ever. However, this pigeon's price tag is nothing compared to the most expensive racehorse, Fusachi Pegasus, who is sold for $64 million, though he won less than $2 million in his life as a racehorse. Good investment. Number 1. Da Vinci's Journal. Who would buy Leonardo da Vinci's unpublished manuscript? Let me give you a hint. Back in 1994, when he bought it, he was known as William H. Gates. As told by a record from 1994, 300 illustrations and scientific writings were packed into a notebook and sold for $30.8 million, making it the most valuable manuscript in the world. At the time, the buyer was not announced, but a spokesperson for Microsoft identified Bill Gates as the buyer. Bill Gates shared the codex with many museums, but now considers it one of his most prized possessions. The piece is called Codex Hammer and was written from 1506 to 1510 by none other than Leonardo da Vinci. It has all sorts of speculations, including why is the sky blue? It also predicts the invention of the submarine and the steam engine. Much of the writing is written backwards, to be read in front of a mirror, as da Vinci loved tricks such as this. It also helped hide his theories. That day of the auction, many were seated in hopes of getting the book. One very profitable bank was even there, but lost to the anonymous buyer. At the time, he wished to remain that way, But even if his name had been said, not many would recognize it, unlike today when everyone knows the name Bill Gates, the richest man in the world. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Peachy Planet, and I'll see you next time. Bye!